Well, Ryan Reynolds blows our expectations out of the water with his brand new video game-inspired movie, Free Guy.
I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop cheering. I couldn't stop wishing I was Ryan Reynolds in real life.
Right. Milton, you're excited.
Yes.
I like it, and rightly so, because we're going to be talking about Free Guy, a contender for Best Movie of the Year. No joke. All on this episode of the Project Finding Good podcast with Kevin and this hyper fan over here.
Okay, Kevin, I'm excited about this episode because I'm excited about this movie. Ryan Reynolds, one of my favorite actors.
Yes.
In Free Guy, I'm going to say it right now, one of my favorite movies.
Ever.
Loved it.
Wow.
Listen,
okay.
The minute I was done seeing it in theaters, I texted my wife, my two daughters. I said, stop everything you're doing right now, call out of work, and go see this movie. It is amazing.
I didn't get a text from you. That's okay. I'll forgive you.
Thank you.
I understand where I'm at on the totem pole of your excitement.
Yeah, man. No, I did text you after the movie.
You did. You did. And it was awesome. I agree. It was one of my favorite movies. I'm going to have to definitely go see it a couple times to get it up there into the favorite movie of all time category. But I think it's a contender for sure.
It won't beat movies like A Few Good Men, which is my ultimate favorite movie of all time. Matrix is up there, but it's definitely in the running. And hey, big time spoiler alerts here, okay? Because we're gonna talk this movie up and down and all around because it was that good.
They actually, the day after, released a trailer that spoiled the big theme of the movie that they kept pretty quiet because I was not expecting it. I wasn't. Actually, I want to talk about that for a minute. What was your expectation of this movie? Because they were promoting it for like a year and a half.
Yeah. I just thought it was going to be like this fun kind of like inside a video game movie. I did not understand that we were going to be inside the video game, outside the video game.
No.
We were going to be meeting all these characters, this character development outside of the video game of these game developers and this company, this evil company. It just took me back to Ready Player One. It was a similar dynamic to Ready Player One. And I actually compared it to if you would cross Inception and Ready Player One, that's Free Guy.
Okay.
I just thought it was that good.
I'd go there.
Oh man, I loved both those movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My expectation was really low. I thought I went and saw it because Ryan Reynolds. And
we love Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and I still have the Regal free movie pass, so I'm like, yeah, sure, it won't cost me anything. I had such low expectations. Well, isn't that the best?
It is.
And the reverse is the worst. When you have high expectations and it just tanks. But when
like
you have,
Tenet.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. When you have absolute low expectations and the movie blows you out of the water, then that's everything. That's awesome.
And Ryan Reynolds delivers again. He just does it over and over again. Underrated movie with Ryan Reynolds, The Proposal. Have you seen that one?
With
Sandra Bullock?
Sandra Bullock, yes.
That movie
great.
is fantastic.
Yes,
he is great in that. But anyway, just showing you my love affair with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
I want to be him.
Well, who doesn't? I actually want to be the jacked up muscular version of Ryan
Oh
Reynolds.
my goodness, that was so good. That was so good with the hair and it was and that scene where Ryan Reynolds finally figures out like I have all these weapons. I have these things that I can pull out. And the guy comes out.
Here's a spoiler alert.
Big spoiler alert. Be ready. And the Captain America shield comes out. And the guy hits and then they shoot. They cut to Chris.
The guy.
Oh, and he's like, what?
It was so meta.
Oh, I
so
just
great.
loved it. Lightsabers.
Yeah. Well, here's a fun part of this part. Did you read about this scene, like the ending? So what was cool about this is 2/3 of the way through production, they hadn't shot the end of the movie yet. Disney buys Fox because this is a Fox movie.
Oh, so that probably wasn't even in the original plans.
He rewrote the entire end of the movie and asked Disney. He's like, I want to put all these in, and they were all for it.
Oh, it's so awesome!
Isn't that amazing?
It is so great.
That's great.
And you know what got me? It wasn't that the shield came out. It wasn't that. It was the music. They had the they had the Avengers music, and when they hit that, I was like, I didn't know what to do with myself. I almost ran out of the theater. Like, this is too much.
It's like a nerd explosion for you. Like your head almost combusted right there.
Oh, it was. I loved it. I want to take my wife because I think this movie has something for everybody.
It does. Yeah.
I want to experience it with my wife. I want her to see that final scene where the two game developers finally figure out.
Yes.
She finally figures out that all of this is because of her, and he's just in love with her. And they see each other across the street.
It's so great.
They cross the street, and you never see the kiss, but you know it's there. And I'm thinking of my wife when she sees that scene, the warmth and just joy she's gonna feel. I want to see her see that, right? I want my kids to see the scenes. I just cannot wait for them to see this movie.
It's really good.
Oh, it's so good.
Did you the movie is all about video games and this real world is happening, but you really discover that this video game is actually the video game. It's kind of goes in and out of these two realities.
Right.
Did you ever get involved in like any of these reality video games?
Man,
like free world, the free world type of.
A little bit. I've played different versions of video games like that. I was mostly like a Nintendo, kid growing up playing Legend of Zelda and things like that.
Sure.
I liked a lot of sports games because I'm kind of into sports. But yeah, I do. I've tried some of these games where you kind of discover and you try to grow and you try to develop yourself or pick up weapons and at some point, I don't know if it's my brain or what, at some point I'm just like, I don't know how much more I can do of this. It's like
you want to get out.
Yeah, but I watch I have I have a nephew who plays like Assassin's Creed and doing missions and things like that, and or what's the war one?
It's Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, and I watch him play, and I'm just like, there are so many buttons right now. I just cannot keep track of everything you're doing.
Right.
He's dropping into a building, throwing a grenade while being picked up by a helicopter and sniping somebody 200 yards away. How do you do that with one hand? I don't get it.
Yeah. Grand Theft Auto. I never really got into that game. My mom would have disowned me, so it just never caught on. But there was a free world game on PlayStation that I played, and I can't remember the name of it. So it really didn't. It was one of those where you're 20 missions in, and it never ends. You can do this until the end of time.
Yeah.
And you're like, I gotta have a beginning, middle, and end here to my video games.
Right.
I can't do this.
What's
forever.
the story here?
Exactly. Yeah. I did play Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh yeah, where you build like a theme park and that kind of stuff. Yeah,
and I feel like I have to. I feel like I have to purge a dark side of my history. With
Are you confessing
here.
right now?
I am. I feel like I do have to do.
I don't know if I have my collar, my priestly collar around, but go ahead. It'll still work. I'll listen to your confession.
It'll still work.
Go ahead.
I mean, a big theme of this movie was choosing to do the right thing.
Yes.
And part of that in video games, when you have these free world video games, is you can really choose to rob a bank. You can choose to off the character on the corner and continue on with your day.
But you would never do anything like that because you're a man of moral standards.
Absolutely.
You would never do anything like that.
Never, unless I'm playing Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh boy!
Now this game was from the early '90s.
Okay.
And really pixelated graphics, but you could pick up the little characters. Like your park, the people who are visiting your park and having a good fun day at the theme park.
The people who paid to come to your park to find joy and happiness at your roller coaster theme park.
Yeah, those guys.
Okay, yeah, these wonderful people.
Yes, so you could pick them up, or like the children carrying a balloon, and you could drag them over like a lake. And just kind of like mouse slip and let them drop into the lake, and then they'd slowly drown.
You did this.
A lot.
We talk. You've melted. You've drowned GI Joes, and now you're drowning virtual characters. I'm really worried about you. Like, why would you choose to do something like that in a game when you know that it's not right to kill?
I don't have a good answer. I don't have a good answer for you.
Yeah,
you've never done this. You've never taken your car and ran over grandma on the She's like one of those the what are they called? Like the
NPCs, non-playable character.
The NPCs, a non-playable character. You've never like just dismissed one of them?
Okay, so you're just gonna put me on blast right now. You're just gonna put the spotlight on me,
which is why you're just being so judgy. And I'm like, there's no way you play these video games and you don't drown an innocent bystander here.
Okay. I will admit that in the early days of Grand Theft Auto, when it first came out, that I did run over a few people with a car.
There it is.
It's okay. Sure, I shouldn't judge. I've done it too. But isn't that interesting? What is it about? Like, you would never get in your car right now, Kevin. Like, after we're done here, you're not going to get in your car and start running people over like you can in a video game.
No.
But why is it in a video game? Why does it seem like fun?
Right. Well,
I don't understand.
Yeah, that's a good word for it, because I think we all do it. I don't know. I don't know if it's some weird meta deep connection with our sinful selves. It's like we've all got evil inside of us that we have to tap into, or if it's there's no consequences. I mean,
That's true.
When you run over an NPC, they just they just respawn around the corner. So
yeah, exactly. And then you turn around and run them over again. So yeah. I think you're right. There is some darkness in all of us.
Yeah.
You know, for some maybe it's more. It's the darkness is bigger. For some it's smaller, but it exists, right? And it's hard because why do we sometimes feel like we need to tap into that? I don't really have an answer. I
don't either.
Yeah, but it's a disturbing reality about ourselves. Like, it's something I got to keep watch on myself. Like, don't go there, man. Don't go there.
Do you think this movie is going to change your interaction with NPCs?
NPCs,
non-playable characters.
Yeah, man, maybe I have to treat him nicer.
Yeah.
Which is what Free Guy did, right?
Yeah.
That he decided, like, why am I going to let my bank be robbed? You know, again, no. Instead of leveling up by doing bad things, which was what everybody else was doing, I'm going to level up by doing good things.
Yeah.
Right. And he's saving cats, and he's stopping the heist instead of, you know, just letting it happen. And I loved that feeling. It actually made me smile, where you just see him, you know, what did they call him? The blue shirt guy, right?
Yeah.
Hey, the blue shirt guy is leveling up so fast, but by doing it different than everybody else. And isn't that really the theme of the movie, which is choosing to do good when everybody else is choosing bad? And how could that be a better, well, of course we believe that, but think about how we live life today, and could we choose to do good and actually thrive in life and make the world a better place by choosing good instead of bad?
Yeah, we needed like a project finding good, doing good video game.
Ooh.
Yeah, where that is not the exception of the norm. That is the goal.
The goal is to do good.
The goal is to do good.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun game.
I would love that.
Or
I would
maybe
play
everybody
it.
would hate it.
Maybe I'll stop playing my Marvel game to play that one.
What Marvel game?
Ooh, Marvel Strike Force. That's what that's the game I play right now. It's a mobile game.
Yeah.
You build, you gather characters and you build them up, and then you join an alliance and you try to, get gear and try to beat the other alliance in war every 2-3 days, and yeah, it's just
like
fun. You do missions together.
That sounds like a souped up version of Clash of Clans, which is the game I'm still addicted to.
You're a Clash of Clans guy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. I've played that before. I was a big Age of Empires. Did you ever play Age of Empires?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, I loved that game. That was so good.
Yeah.
And then they had Age of Mythology, which was like all the mythological creatures that you could fight, Zeus and all this stuff. Yeah.
So
I like games like that.
What character do you play in the Marvel game?
Well,
do you have a character?
You gather them all, and then you put them together in. So my strongest team is my Black Order team, which is Thanos, Cull Obsidian, Proxima Midnight, Ebony Maw, and Cull Obsidian.
That's all the bad guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
but they're super powerful.
So you
can take anybody down with that team.
So you choose to play with the villains.
Well, I got to win, man. I got to win. I can't lose.
There you go. That's awesome. I mean, yeah. So this decision to do good is certainly played out all over, and I think the majority of people choose to do good.
Definitely.
We see a lot of evil. We're seeing a lot of evil in our world right now, and it just takes one. But I think we let that consume the narrative over the millions and hundreds of millions of people who are choosing to actually love their neighbor and not run over the lady on the street corner. all these things that would be horrible.
Yeah.
Consequences or not. And I think that's something to celebrate. I do think humanity is good at its core.
Definitely. And even people who maybe do choose wrong, they're not hopeless.
No.
People can change. People can decide to do. Think about in the movie. So we have Free Guy, right? Ryan Reynolds in the game choosing good. And then we have our two characters outside the game, the developers who are trying to prove that their code was used illegally or was stolen from them to create the world that Free Guy lives in, right? So they're trying to discover. And one of them has gone over to the bad side, right? To the dark side, the male of this duo.
He's working for the enemy.
He's working for the enemy, but he decides, I can't do this anymore. I have to do the right thing. And then the battle begins, right? Where he's trying to do the right thing so that his partner can discover what she needs to discover to prove the evil man in the story is truly evil. So he was on the bad side, but he made a choice. No more. It doesn't matter. It's not about money. It's about doing the right thing. So we have Free Guy inside the game doing the right thing. We have the other guy outside the game doing the right thing. And they're actually mirrors of each other, we find out in the game at the end of the movie. Right,
yeah.
He wrote himself as Free Guy, right? So that he can show who he was to her.
Yeah, I love it.
And it's just this beautiful picture. So I do think that even if you're choosing wrong now, you can choose right.
Yeah.
You're not doomed to only choose wrong.
Right.
You can make a different decision and choose the right thing. And I love how when Free Guy chooses right, chooses to do good, it just expands. And in the end, he inspires everybody to do the same thing. Now, that's harder to do in real life.
Right.
Because good is being drowned out by bad, especially online. Let's go back to the virtual world. It's so hard to peek through, to poke through the evil that's out there or the bad stuff that's out there. But it's not impossible.
No. And I think everybody gravitates towards those stories more. I mean, think about it. News can really affect your mind poorly.
Yeah.
But that story about someone going above and beyond and doing good, that is what inspires you to actually make a difference in your corner. So seek out those stories.
Yeah, and I try to share those stories when they come out, especially online. Because there's enough negative stories. We don't need more.
No.
Let's focus on that. So, and that's what I love about Project. Like, we're trying to find good, right? We're trying to accentuate or put a spotlight on the good things that are happening in our communities, in our own personal lives. We want to be about those things. And if imagine if all of us decided to do that, man, it would change the world, I think.
Great place to be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's I think that wraps this episode of the Project Finding Good podcast. And great movie. Highly would recommend it for you and your entire family and friends as well. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. Make sure that you subscribe, hit that bell, follow us, whatever you do, wherever you're watching or listening. We appreciate you doing so. And we'll be back next week with a new episode. And remember, there are no respawns in life. There you go. See you next time.
Nice.